Okay, we are live.
Chag Sameach, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. I am so excited to see all of you, and what a wonderful experience this is. I am coming to you live from Delray Beach, Florida this evening, where I am celebrating my father's 90th birthday. So happy birthday, Yom Huledet Sameach to Nat. And I figured as long as we're going to Zoom, I can Zoom from anywhere. So I'm thrilled to be able to celebrate consecration, Simchat Torah, and Shabbat with all of you tonight, and also honor my parents. So that is one of the big kahuna commandments, kabed et avicha v'et imecha, to honor thy father and thy mother. And so even though COVID is among us and keeps us separated, there's still some bright spots with us that we can be all together. So without further ado, welcome to everybody who comes here tonight for whatever reason, to celebrate Shabbat, to celebrate Simchat Torah, joy and rejoicing with the Torahs, or most important, to present little Torahs and hear our consecrants say the Shema for the first time publicly together on the very bima that all of us will be together, God willing, for B'nai Mitzvah confirmation. And so we begin with the singing of Hine Ma Tov. How wonderful it is for all of us to be together.
Hine Ma Tov u'manayim shever achim gam yachad. 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 Hine Ma Tov u'manayim. Oy 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 shever achim gam yachad. Shever achim oy achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim. Oy 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 shever achim gam yachad. Shever achim oy achim gam yachad. Shevet achim oy achim gam yachad.
It is my pleasure to invite forward to bless our Shabbat candles, our wonderful and beloved educator, Marla Friedman.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat v'shel Yom Tov.
We continue now with the Baruch Hu, as I invite the congregation to please rise, neither body or spirit.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Everyone may be seated as we continue now with the Ve'ahavta.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha u'v'lechtecha v'aderech uv'shochpecha uv'kumecha u'kshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot beinenecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'vishavrecha leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kedoshim lelohechem Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihyot lachem lelohim Ani Adonai Elohechem.
We continue now with our song, the Mi Chamocha, the song that celebrates the miracles that happened, the great miracles, like the splitting of the Sea of Reeds, or any of the miracles, just that our families can be together tonight to celebrate in this wonderful celebration, or that we can all be together, even virtually, creating and becoming our wonderful community. So, of course, today is our holiday of Simchat Torah, but also the holiday of Shabbat. And all the prayers that we've done so far, very important prayers, but are also traditionally done every day. However, our prayer and song Vishamru is one that's reserved just for Shabbat.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat Lasot et ha-Shabbat Midorotam berit olam Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat Lasot Israel, Oti leolam, Oti leolam. V'shamru b'nei Israel et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
We come now to our tefillah, our Amidah. Something to note that traditionally on the 8th day, on the morning of the 8th day of Sukkot, is when we switch in our prayer the Givurot from Merid Hatal to Meshiv Haruach and Merid Hagashem. Now, in Israel and in the Reform community, we don't actually celebrate the 8th day of Sukkot. Our 8th day of Sukkot is Simchat Torah. So tonight is our first night that we begin to ask for rain in the Givurot. And I invite everyone to please rise in either body or spirit.
Adonai sefatai tiftachu fi agitehilatecha. Adonai sefatai tiftachu fi agitehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibor v'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei HaKol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot, U'Mevi Geula Livnei V'Nehem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, V'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayei metim atah Rav leHoshia, Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem, Mechakel chayim bechesed, Mechayei metim berachamim rabim, Somech noflim v'rofeh cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha ba'al gevurot, Umidomelach, Melech memit umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah l'hachayot metim, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hametim. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, Ukdoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha salah, Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
Everyone may be seated for a silent prayer, and during our silent prayer, we are going to share a small slideshow of all our consecrants for this evening. We will now continue with Oseh Shalom and look forward to hearing from those consecrants very soon.
Oseh Shalom bimromav uyaseh Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oseh Shalom bimromav uyaseh Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru
So we ceremonially this evening are calling up all of our consecrants, and we are not calling everyone up by name in order to maintain student privacy, but we are calling all of you to come up ceremonially to our virtual Bima in our COVID era that we are together. And we are so thrilled that you are with us on the virtual Bima, because God willing, we will be together soon enough on our real Bima. Some of you I got to name on our Bima, and God willing, we'll be together again for your B'nai Mitzvah on our Bima. Just as a quick aside, I've been here so long now that I am actually performing the weddings of the students who I have done their B'nai Mitzvah at our Bima, and now I can marry them in our sanctuary as well. That just means, yeah, I'm getting old, but that's great because, you know, my dad's showing me the way. So this is very exciting. And so I invite all of our consecrants ceremonially to come now to the gallery view, and you are going to be presented with your little Torahs, and you are all going to unmute and say in a cacophonous, Zoom-only way, the Shema.
We are going to sing. So children who are being consecrated, make sure you're unmuted, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Cinnamon Murphys, unmute yourself.
Oh, good. All right. And now we are going to present you with your little Torahs. I believe you're going to show them on the screen. If I'm not mistaken, you're going to show us little Torah.
If you have your little Torah now, hold it up. Okay, I didn't tell everybody.
That's okay. Whatever they have.
Okay. Ray has his.
There it is.
Isaac has his.
So the power
Great.
of Torah is during coronavirus when we couldn't be in the sanctuary. I had my son's little Torahs and we read out of the little Torahs. So little Torahs, you never know when you're going to need them. Here they are. So thank you for having them. Keep them safe. And now while everybody is showing us the little Torahs, I am going to bless you with the threefold priestly benediction that I will be.
Not going to sing?
Oh, are we singing little Torah?
Of course. Of course.
You are making Rabbi Bob and I and Rabbi Campbell so happy. This is Rabbi Bob's favorite song. It was first produced in the 1950s, and we keep repeating it. So I am now going to have our wonderful consecrants sing. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. Little Torah.
All right. So people who have themselves muted, who is a consecrating, a child who's been consecrated, please unmute. And here, let's go. 1, 2, 3. Little Torah, little Torah, let me hold you tightly. Tell me many pretty stories. Teach me what is right.
That was so beautiful. Listen, a night at the Metropolitan Opera could not fill me with as much naches, as much pride as what you just sang. So thank you, because you are our future. With Torahs in your hand, you consecrants lead the way for our Jewish future. And so I ask everyone who is able to do so to lean your little kepis toward the Zoom screen while I ask you to please rise if you are able, and I give you the threefold priestly benediction of the Torah. Yeverechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yikuneka, Yisa Adonai panav elecha vayasem lecha shalom, vayasem lecha shalom. Please be seated. And now we ask Cindy to bless this holy and special moment with the singing of Shehechianu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'hikianu lazman hazeh.
It is at this time that we would usually have a wonderful big dance with all of our Torahs, all of our wonderful things that we have that are in our ark that I've kind of laid out a little bit here, which we can see a little bit later. However, I have a few people to thank that even though we can't do that together, we can still watch a video of people dancing. And here's the best part. Since you're only little boxes, everyone can dance like nobody's watching because, well, I guess if you look at our YouTube live page, you might be able to watch, but everyone please dance with our wonderful Hakafah. Even if you don't, you can dance with your little Torahs or anything that you have for this wonderful song. I'm just going to share my screen so we can hear and watch this dance. A big thank you to all our dancers. And if anybody wants to be recorded dancing with the Torah, just send me an email. We can do that, no problem. We are going to continue now with our Torah service. And as we'll see, I'm also going to invite up our 4 chuppah holders of Kathy Bender, Elizabeth Gossage, Judy Miller, and Ellen Simpson. But you don't have to come up because don't worry, I have your pictures. You'll see how it's going to work in just a moment. All right, and now to invite up Rabbi Kaznowski to introduce our Torah portions.
Okay, so it is customary for the end of the Torah for us to read the last paragraph or the maftir portion of the Zot HaTorah, the last letter, Yisrael, the last letter of the Torah is in a lamed, and the first letter of the Torah is Bereshit. But when you put the lamed and the vav together, it spells the word lev. Lev means heart. And so because the lamed and the vet, the lamed and the vet together spells heart, the Torah never ends because it is connected through our hearts. And so we continue with the end of Deuteronomy, and we call up our beloved Ellen Simpson to do the aliyah. Ta'amod Esther bat Moshe v'Rochalea la'aliyah haTorah. Ya'amod harav Falk ben Mishalim v'Sara likro haTorah.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamvarach. Baruch Adonai hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Oh, here are the Torah, the chuppah holders. That's really funny. We're not hearing her. We're not hearing him. He's muted.
Rabbi Camel, I think you're muted.
Excuse me about that. We'll start over. Sorry. It's okay. I was a little behind on that run. Velo kam. Oh, excuse me. Velo kam navi od ba'Yisrael kol kemoshe asher yado Adonai panihim el panihim lechol hatot ve'hamotihim asher shlacho Adonai lasot be'eretz Mitzrayim laparo u'chol avadav u'chol artso u'chol haya hazakah u'chol hamorah hagadol asher asa Moshe Le'nei kol Yisrael. And now I am going to call up our reader of Bereshit, the beginning of our Torah. Ta'amod harav Yosefa atara bat Natan v'chaya gittel likro haTorah.
Bereshit bara. Bara Elohim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz ve'haaretz hayta tohu vavohu v'choshech al pnei tehom v'ruach Elohim merachefet al pnei tehom vayomer Elohim yehi or vayar Elohim et haor kito Vayavdel Elohim bein haor uvein hachoshech. Vayikra Elohim leor yom v'lachoshech kara laila. Vayhi erev vayhi choshech yom. Vayhi erev vayhi voker yom echad.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. At this time in our worship service, our thoughts turn to those of our community and families who are ill and in need of healing. We think this evening of Jill Levant, Elwood, Frederick Bryan, Rick Westerman, Karen Levinson, Jenna Levinson, Lucy Gleason, Laura Alberton, Nisa Scott, Kai Harrison, Martin Colbert, John Wilkerson, J.D. Mann, Mary Mann, Mark Zellman, Sarah Vered Bat-Shoshana, Robin Channon, Cheryl Barrera, Richard Hoffman, Evan Georgie Johnston, Kathleen Minardi, Margie Sufi, Sheila Alterman, Bridget, Bob, Sharon Gutsky, Ronnie Brown, Carol Nymark, Larry Nymark, Melissa Bischoff, Daniel Bongino, Sue Binks, Shelley Vilashi, Sharon Holt, Joan Balin, David Swanson, Shirley Sukanik, and all who suffer whom we know not by name. Mishaberach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak Yaakov Ve'imotenu Sarah Rivka Rachel V'Leah Hu Yivarech V'Rapeh Et Kol Cholei Yisrael Vayishlach Lahem Bimheira Refuah Shlema Refuah Tanefesh Refuah Taguf and Omar Amen. May God, who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal all who are stricken. May the Holy One of Praise mercifully restore them to health and to vigor. May God grant them health of body, health of spirit, and of mind. And let us say, Amen.
Amen.
May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mikor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
It is now my pleasure to invite up the Duhans who will read our prayer for Israel and our prayer for America. I believe we will have Tara do the prayer for Israel.
So I might not.
David.
O Heavenly One, protector and redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love, spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen.
I might not have my yarmulke. I really might not, because it keeps falling off on my head.
I understand how that goes. And now for our prayer for America.
O guardian of life and liberty, may our nation always merit your protection. Teach us to give thanks for what we have sharing with those who are in need. Help us to appreciate one another and to respect the many ways we serve you. Bless our country, that it may always be a stronghold of peace and its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within its borders, health and happiness within its homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship among the inhabitants of all lands, and may the love of your name hallow ever home and every heart. We praise you, O God, the source of peace. Amen.
Thank you very much, Hans, for those wonderful prayers. And now I thought I could offer a little Simchat Torah story. I almost said Simchat Story Torah, which I think could probably also work, but a little Simchat Torah story. So once, way back when, who even knows what city it was, the high holidays fell towards the middle and end of October. And it just so happened that Simchat Torah was going to be celebrated on the 7th game of the World Series. Well, the rabbi of the synagogue thought that this might be a little problem because maybe not so many people would come to the Simchat Torah service because people were going to this baseball game. And sure enough, they opened up the doors for the Simchat Torah service. They had Rochel, who usually comes to all the services. They had Chaim Leb, who usually comes to all the services, but that was it. And the rabbi was a little worried about this. There are certain prayers that you can't do if you don't have 10 Jewish people. So he said, I know what we're going to do. We're going to take our Torahs. We're supposed to dance and have much joy with our Torahs on Simchat Torah. It happens to be a beautiful day. Let's go out into the parking lot and start dancing. So they went out into the parking lot early in the morning and they started dancing. It was just the three of them, but they were dancing and they were dancing with the Torahs, hoping other people would come. Well, it just so happened at that very moment, there was a young pitcher who was new to the home team, but he was pitching a wonderful game, the closer of the team, and they were up and they had their third strike for their third out. The home team won that 7th game, and the whole crowd erupted in cheers. As people filed out, they saw all these people, just the 3 people at first, dancing in the parking lot. With their team having just won the World Series, they said, I want to dance in the parking lot. And all of a sudden, so many people came to the parking lot dancing all together with the Torahs. The people celebrating Simchat Torah were thinking, oh, how wonderful, people to celebrate Simchat Torah. The people celebrating their game's victory said, oh, how wonderful, more people celebrating this game's victory. Probably writing it down with those huge scrolls that they're carrying. Well, as they kept dancing and dancing, eventually they realized that they were celebrating different things. And the people who were celebrating the winning of the game said, oh, we're sorry, we're going to go. But the rabbi said, wait. Celebration, simchat, happiness, is something that should always be shared. And even though we might be celebrating different things, let us all celebrate together. And everyone said, all right, we're going to continue dancing here together in this parking lot, all together. And they were able to share their wonderful simcha, their wonderful joy together. It is now my pleasure to invite up Joel Spenedel for our announcements.
Shabbat Shalom and Chag Sameach, everyone. Thank you for coming to the Shabbat services tonight. Whether you're on your driveway like some of us, or in your home, or in Florida, or in the sanctuary. My name is Joel Spenedel, and I'm representing the Board of Directors tonight. I would like to give a special thanks to the rabbis for leading our Erev Simchat Torah and consecration service, to Cindy Michelasi for the beautiful music, and to the kindergarten staff for the consecration of our kindergartners. Though it was a very different experience, we hope all of you were able to enjoy the lovely fall weather for Sukkot, and all of you are staying safe and healthy as we are out here on the driveway. Mazel tov to all the students and their families who are being consecrated today, as you now will begin your Jewish learning. And I'll note your journey of Jewish community is witnessed here by the gathering and the Spenedel driveway with all of these young adults who were consecrated more than a decade ago. I think there's one here who's approaching quickly 2 decades. Rabbi, that makes me feel old too. Mazel tov also to Nathan Koznowski on the occasion of his 90th birthday, and to the entire Koznowski family. That's quite an achievement. Quickly for some business this week, Tuesday evening, the library committee will host a book club discussion. Please contact Patricia Rosamond for further details. On Wednesday, the Lifelong Learning Committee will present a lunch and learn welcoming Rabbi Hannah Estrin, where she will be discussing on Jerusalem, the poetry of Yehuda Amichai. Please reach out to Barb Turner for more information. But whatever you do, don't call the office on Monday because they won't be there. It is a holiday. Thank you everyone so much for joining us. Again, Shabbat Shalom and Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach. Thank you, Joel, for those wonderful announcements. And before we begin our concluding prayers, I want to call out some very special people. Although, Joel, you thanked a lot of us, I want to especially thank, again, it is so difficult to be a teacher in general, but then if you add the Zoom and we don't have the in-person treatment, it makes it that much more difficult. So I want to call out the, please mute your sound, baby. I want to call out the talents of Ellen Simpson, Eliza Stern, Cameron Saltzman, and Avery Livingston, and also Susan Leftwich for all that you do and for the wonderful essence that you bring to our students year after year, but especially this year when it's just a little bit more challenging. Thank you, Toda Rabbah, from the bottom of all of our hearts for all that you give of yourself to our amazing community. Back to you, Rabbi Camel.
We continue now in our service with the Aleinu, as I invite everyone to please rise in either body or spirit.
Aleinu l'shapeach ladon hakol, latet gedula liotzer bereshit, shelo asanu kegoye haratzot, velo samanu kamishpechot adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam, vanachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, livnei melech, malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu, v'ne'emar v'chaya Adonai, l'melech al kol haaretz, bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad.
Our thoughts now turn to those of our community and families who are no longer with us. Today, we remember and honor the Yortzites of Jerry Grossman, father of Michelle Barrett, Igne Gruber, grandmother of Bonnie Madison, Sonia Karen, grandmother of Lisa Margulies, Eugene Sweeten, father of Marcia Sweeten, Mary Farkas, mother of Alan Farkas, Leon Prinz, father of Paul Prinz and Stephen Prinz, David Sack, father of Eleanor Salimonis, Elizabeth Stevens, grandmother of Sherry Katz, Belle Antman, aunt of Deborah Bacall, Phil Bass, uncle of Shelley Miller, Gertrude Burstein, mother of Scott Burstein, Alter Casper, grandfather of Alan Wolski, Ann Pro Rabins, mother of Jack Rabins, Jacob Ravel, grandfather of Merle Ehrlich, Irving Schleimer, father of Judy Strauss-Lipkin, Jane Black, mother of Nancy Pollock, Carol Frendel Southern, grandmother of Michael Gorman, Hyman Friedman, father of Sheila Lux. Samuel Safer, father of Gloria Kahn. Alice Stern, mother of Susan Dysinger. George Levy, father of Edward Levy. Pinchas Winograd, father-in-law of Esther Winograd. Elsa Wolf, mother of Ursula Ulrich. Lade Ehrlich, grandmother of Edward Levy. And Isidore Goldberg, father of Alice Argus. We also mourn the recent passing of Norm Black, husband of Tammy Black. Paul Cox, husband of Deborah Cox and father of Samuel Benjamin Cox and brother-in-law of Wendy Peck, and of Ruth Gator Binsberg. We continue now as one community as we rise together for the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadav Yitkadash Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma Divrach Yortei V'yamlich Malchutei, B'chayechon V'yomechon V'chayei D'chol Beit Yisrael, Ba'gala V'zman Kariv V'imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevarach Le'olam Umei Amaya. Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitromam V'yitnaseh. V'yitadar V'yitaleh V'yitalal Shemei D'Kudeshah B'rechu. La'ela Min Kol Birchata V'shirata. Tushbechata V'nechemata. Da'miran Be'alma V'imru Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya. V'chayim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'imru Amen. Oseh Shalom B'mrumav. Hu Yaseh Shalom. Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'imru Amen.
V'imru Amen. V'imru Amen. V'imru Amen. V'imru Amen.
Before we begin our concluding song, I'm going to ask everyone who is a consecrant to unmute themselves, please. And for a moment of cuteness, would love it if you would all wish everyone a Chag Sameach.
That's you, Mash.
Everybody say Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach.
There you go.
Chag Sameach.
You guys are too cute. All right, Cindy, take us home.
With the song Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach, ya la 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 la. Chag Sameach, ya la 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 la. Shiru, 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 Chag Sameach, ya la 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 la. Shiru, 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 Chag Sameach, ya la 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 la. Chag Sameach, ya la 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 la. Chag Sameach, ya la 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 la. Shiru, 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 Chag Sameach, ya la 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 la. Shiru, 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 Chag Sameach, ya la 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 la.
Let us go out to this Shabbat. Let us go out to 5781, to joy, to rest, and to peace. Shabbat Shalom. Chag Sameach.
Shabbat Shalom. Chag Sameach.
Shabbat Shalom.
Chag
Sameach.
Hi, Max. Hi, Abigail.
I can't see you, but Shabbat Shalom. My picture didn't get on the paper.
Mazel tov, consecrants.
Yes. Well done, kindergartners. Happy Stanley.
Love the song.
That's beautiful.
Bye, Miss Micah.
Hi, David. Nice to see you, David. I miss you all so much.
Or are we starting?
We're done.
Yeah, we're all done. But I'm going to make you proud.
Let's get it started.
Great job.
Bye.
You kindergarten kids did a great job.
Really great job, kindergartners.
Bye.
Abigail and David.
Hi, Victoria's dog.
Good night.
Yasher
Cutie dog.
everybody.
Martinez's, are you still there?
We are.
We are.
So I'm going to send you an email, and I'm going to send an email to the Davises. I don't know if you know each other, but you are living 1.25 miles from one another, and you both have kids the right age.
That's
Make
great.
this between you guys, okay?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
How are you?
I've
That was
heard
fun.
of their existence nearby.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, I was talking with Mrs. Davis, Renee. I said, aren't there any families, any Temple families that live out here in Western Springs when I was bringing the little Torah? And she says, oh, I don't think there's anybody out here. And I thought I knew there was somebody. I had to go looking.
Yes.
And so good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
I was making some congregant calls for the board, and there was somebody I spoke to, but she
Much older than us.
yeah.
But she is also in Western
She's like an
Springs.
original 1960 member.
Oh, okay. And the Margolises live in Western Springs.
Live there. Yeah.
Oh, they do?
Barb Margolis and Larry Margolis. They're my
I
generation.
didn't know that.
Why couldn't I get my picture on?
Who?
Langston.
Langston, where's your picture?
You have me blocked out? I can't get my picture.
Oh,
Is my picture blocked out?
Yeah, we can't see you.
You're a little in the dark.
No, I tried to get on, but I can't.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Ah,
I guess I'm that ugly.
no.
Oh. We want to see you. I'm going to leave my classroom.
You can't find the button that says start video?
I thought I did.
We always see you.
Yeah, usually you're there.
Yeah.
Maybe next time.
Yeah.
It's a good thing people know who you are.
It's that
Yeah,
you
well-
look too good and you make the rest of us look bad. That's what it is.
Yeah, right.
So are you outside Martinez's? Or are you just?
We are, no, we just have a strobe light going on inside the dark.
Oh.
No, we have a fire.
Are your
Oh,
chickens
wonderful.
there? We see your little
They're
chicks.
sleeping.
Yeah.
Oh, they're
sleeping.
sleeping. Okay.
As
Yeah.
soon as the sun sets, they do a little march and they put themselves to bed. It's very
Oh.
convenient. I didn't know that about chicken, but they're very light sensitive. So like if you put a blanket over them, they would just go to sleep because they think it's nighttime.
Right.
It's convenient.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't. So now I know of 2 Temple families that have chickens. So you know the Cinnamon Murphys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they have
Selberts.
And the Selberts. The
Oh,
Selberts.
the Selberts too?
Three families.
I have
We
chickens
started getting
in a
into
way.
eggs too. So now
You have what, Rabbi?
I have chickens in a way.
In a way? Do you have eggs in your refrigerator?
more.
Well, yeah, chicken.
Happy.
That's not having chickens.
In a way.
I have brutally murdered chickens in my fridge. We do too.
Nice.
Good
see you
ending to
guys.
Shabbat.
Great.
Shabbat
All right,
shalom.
well, you're welcome.
Hey,
How
everyone.
about camels?
All right. Oh, we're still alive on YouTube. I should